I feel like you were one of the first guys I ever heard about. I got sources, and that became a thing. And it was like, well, everybody's talking to Stephen A. Like, how does he get before there was a Woj? It was like, it's coming from you first. When it came to free agents or or trades, it was you. So I'm wondering, from Winston-Salem seat to beat writer for the Philadelphia Inquirer to being on ESPN. I told you beforehand, I was there when you were ESPN Radio.
Yeah, New York.
Subbing.
10:50.
10:50 at noon. This was part of my lunch break. To being on TV, to having First Take, to being the EP of the show, and now, for all likelihood, having the crown when it comes to sports media. Was this all part of the plan? Or are we finding new avenues as your career is expanding, you're finding new experiences?
I think it's both. It was always part of my plan to be recognized as being great at what I do. And they say I'm great at television. We'll go with that. I don't know whether it's true or not, but I'm going to take it. You know, it's a blessing to be number one. It's a blessing to be at the top of the heap. I didn't see that coming. And that's because of fans like yourself and others out there that have supported me throughout the years. Who the hell would I be if I didn't have that support? So I'm humbled in regards to that. I know that my blessings come from above, and I'm constantly mindful of that. But I also know where I give myself credit is my relentless pursuit for success and for excellence. And just as significant of an A, it's basically understanding how to see the forest from the trees. When I was in Philadelphia, at the Philadelphia Inquirer covering the 76ers in 2001, this was what changed the course of my career. I'm breaking stories. They got this guy, Phil Jasner, God rest his soul, used to write for the Philadelphia Daily News, covering the Sixers for decades, and they had these other writers. And it got to a point where everything, basketball-wise, it was my town. If there was a story coming out of Philadelphia in the sport of basketball, it was coming through me. I was on a roll, and I was that successful. And the 76ers get to the finals. They make that run, Vince and AI in the semifinals, Toronto, Philadelphia going back, dropping 50-plus on each other. It was unbelievable. That series was so sensational. Toronto had beaten Philly with Vince Carter, I think, scoring 54 that night. And Billy King was like, "Are you seeing this? This is fantastic." After a loss, he's like, "I ain't never seen nothing like this." I mean, these cats going at it it was that kind of atmosphere between Toronto and Philadelphia. It was electric, man. And then in the finals, Philly went in the conference finals. They went against Big Dog and Ray Allen and Sam Cassell and those boys. Both series went 7 games. Philadelphia wins. Yep. And then in game 1 of the NBA Finals, it's the first time I ever met Denzel Washington. I'm at the Staples Center, which had just opened, and I'm walking towards the tunnel, and somebody comes up and wraps their arm around me, and it's Denzel. I had never met him. He's like, "So tell me what the Lakers gonna do? The Lakers gonna do this?" You know what I'm saying? That's the first time I ever met him. And I said, "Oh, this is done in 5. Y'all goddamn." Yeah, he was like, "I said, anybody got no answer for Shaq? And Kobe on the come up. I mean, this is over. They got no shot." I said, well, he said, why not a sweep? Why 5? And I said the same thing that I said on a national sports report on Fox Sports. I said, AI will get you one. It was my exact words. AI will get you one. He dropped 48 in game 1, stepped over Ty Lue, did his thing, blah, blah, blah. Through those playoffs, me being number 1, I was reduced to writing an 800-word article, and that was it. Trying to build subscribers for the newspaper. They brought in the investigative team, the features writer team, and people from other departments all pouring in, writing every possible thing they could about the playoffs because subscribers was buying the newspaper. And that's how they was making their money. And I was like, not that you don't know it's about money, because you get that everything's about money, but it slapped me in the face. My level of production, what I was bringing to the table, meant nothing to them. Nothing. All they cared about was generating those dollars through subscribers. and folks buying the newspapers during the playoff run. So it was an eye opener for me because it just refreshed my mind and reminded me that everything comes down to business. And so think the money, where's the money at? Where's it coming from? Where the money's going to get funneled from? Pay attention to that as you move forward.
Yeah, follow the
and that's how sports talk radio, you're getting paid $75,000, $100,000 for the newspaper. You're getting paid $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 for radio. You know, you getting paid $1 million for television. That's how it was back then.
How much was the beat writer getting paid?
At that time for me, I was at about 75,000. No, but it was more. Ultimately, because I started working for CNNSI and then after that Fox Sports, Philadelphia wanted to keep me in tow, so they came to me and they had boosted my salary up to $150,000.
Okay.
Right? Plus, you know, Fox Sports, I was getting about another $175,000.
Okay.
So I'm like, cool, that was good. But I'm just saying that for me, I saw that and I said, newspaper's dying. You saw the cachet of ESPN.com elevating. You saw digital coming into play. You saw newspapers, they were panicky because the executives was talking about their subscriber base was dipping and stuff. And suddenly I started, and that's when I went from reading the sports sections to reading the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal and Bloomberg News. And, you know, I started reading those things, paying attention. Okay, the economy, they're saying this is bad right now. They're talking about inflation. They talk about this, that. All right, the unemployment rate is dipping because, you know, when white folks catch a cold, black folks catch pneumonia. So it's always worse for us.
Yep.
So I'm like, whatever the situation was, I'm like, it's going to be worse for us. And I'm like, what am I going to do to position myself? And from that point forward, I would always be forward thinking in that regard.